everyone. My name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and this is today's collective tarot reading. Okay. This is an interesting mix of cards. I'm going to take a minute to really, I don't know, get a hold of what I'm taking in here. This is a really interesting mix of balanced, kind of more objective or strategic feeling energies, and then our creative, inspired energies. So we have the Star reversed. And the Star, I feel like, speaks to higher self, true self, sometimes ideal self, you know, and our ideals in general. And so, yeah, here it's reversed. It's next to Justice and King of Swords. Now, these two are both air. Justice is actually, so it's a Libra card. And so there is that theme of balance because Libra is the scales and Justice has scales here, right? They're a little bit obscured because this beautiful deck is so abstract. But yeah, so the scales are here. And King of Swords is actually facing away from the Star. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's it almost throws me for a loop, but what I'm getting, I realize, so I keep being drawn to these beautiful purple colors in the deck, and there's that really mystical quality with purple. I think of it as our psychic awareness, you know, our awareness of things that may be unseen, or yeah, things that maybe we sense or that come to us, messages we receive. It's more in that third eye realm. And so interesting that these cards, which speak to air, which is all about the mind and our logic and our how we organize our thoughts, that's also a part of it. What I'm getting is, even as this guy is actually facing away from the Star, which is reversed, it feels as if we almost can't get away from what we know on these other levels, even though it's almost like maybe we want to. There's this feeling of because this energy, there's a practicality, you know, in this kind of energy. It's the kind of energy that says there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and this is the way I know, this is what's right, this is how I organize it, you know, there's that. So yeah, and Justice too, with that theme of balance. It's like we could be a little more inspired and nonlinear, but you know, so yeah, really interesting as I'm sorting this out. What it feels like is that maybe what it is too is that even as our conscious mind wants us to go in one direction, our less conscious, our intuitive mind, it's still kind of holding sway. So it's like, even as maybe we're not as aware or as conscious of what inspires us right now, we may still be acting on a more intuitive level as we get things done, as we, I don't know, sort our business or go about our day and deal with practical concerns. There's this feeling of yeah, it feels like to be aware of that mystical undercurrent of our day is going to be important. So that's a really interesting message right there. Yeah, it actually, the interesting thing about this particular reading is that it feels very divided. It feels almost like there's two opposing messages. So it may be that we're a little bit in two opposing camps with one another, that some of us more naturally want to get things done today, and some of us are maybe a little bit more willing to tap into our creative, regenerative powers. Yeah, so the other layer of this reading, you have the Empress reversed. Now this is all about creativity. 3 is communication too, so creative expression, and just the power of that. This is such a powerful figure, that the Empress is, that she represents. And she's next to the Fool, and the Fool is actually facing her way. So the Fool is kind of heralding newness and new adventure. And the Fool is facing away from Temperance. And again, you have that theme of balance with Temperance. Temperance also is some of the energy that we've come through. So it's kind of this feeling of we're ready for something new. I'm getting that with the Fool. So we're ready for something new. And this, this creative energy, it's available for us to tap into. It's there if we want it. And it may be that some of us more readily tap into that or want to tap into it, and some of us are more, at least on a conscious level, more just wanting to get things done, wanting to go about our day, wanting to have it be a little more straightforward, even as our psychic and intuitive abilities may be heightened. And that's also really interesting because it may allow us to get more things done in a more efficient way as we rely on our intuitive knowing without necessarily being consciously aware. So some of us will be, some of us won't be. So yeah, to recap, we're moving in a new direction, and whereas that's kind of always true, the cards are also reflecting it here. It's a little bit more defined in the cards. So maybe we're also moving away from just having to maintain balance, feeling like maybe we're treading water. We want something new. And again, with the Fool is venturing into new territory in such a way that's kind of impulsive. The thing about taking that leap of faith, the Fool takes a leap and has utmost faith that he will land exactly where he needs to land, right? So yeah, it feels like no matter where we are, it's time to venture. It's time to allow our day to take a turn. And again, this beautiful creative energy, this is also available to us if we want it. So some of us might be like, all right, no thanks. I just prefer to pay my bills, deal with tax stuff, feed the cat, and have that be it. And to you guys, I would say, pay attention to how you do that and see if maybe different ways to do those things kind of come to you naturally. But yeah, I know, speaking for myself, I'm going to be going to the Museum of Fine Arts, so I feel like I'm absolutely ready to tap into this beautiful, creative, inspired energy, so I'm kind of in that camp of, all right, time for creative adventure. So this is a really interesting reading, and it feels a little bit all over the place, but if I can try to summarize this and kind of condense it, what I'm getting is that we're a little bit split in our energies today, and some of us will be wanting to really get things done and have it be straightforward and simple, and some of us will be wanting just that new creative adventure. And no matter where you are, pay attention to your intuitive sensibility and your, if you're open to it, your psychic sensibility, because that energy is there, it's available to us, it can really help us at whatever we decide to do with it. So whether that's getting really simple tasks done or organizational tasks done, or creating something completely new and different, or like I'm saying, going somewhere and having a completely new enriching experience with even with other people's creations. No matter where you are, no matter what your values are, you know, whether you really value tapping into this kind of higher inspired self that all of us have, or whether your values are more in terms of getting it done, having your own organizational system, feeling the empowerment of that. Once again, maybe what it comes down to is that we have options, and the way it feels is that our sensibilities are going in at least, I mean, infinite directions really, but at least two different directions, where some of us will really just want to get things done and stay on top of that and feel organized, and some of us will want to feel our inspiration a little bit more directly and maybe create something new, or maybe be part of someone else's creation, but feel inspired through creativity, through beauty, you know? I mean, that is also such a thing with this energy. So with Empress, she's connected to Venus, which is all about love and beauty, and I feel like also just relationship, but all of that good stuff that speaks to something like going to an art museum or taking in the beauty of the outside, you know? So wherever you are on this spectrum, I hope that you have a satisfying day. I hope that you find ways to tune into and value your intuitive knowing or your psychic knowing, or both. You know, I mean, both of those are, I feel like they're layers of the same thing. I hope that this reading has been helpful. I recognize, again, to me it feels a little bit all over the place, but there you have it. And yeah, if you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. If you are interested in supporting me and supporting this channel, please check out my Patreon. The link is down below. I would love to have you on board. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.